Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 3, Episode 18, Distant Voices. So before I get too far into this, I just want to thank you guys for watching all of my Star Trek reviews and now my other reviews. I've started posting Doctor Who reviews on Saturdays, at least for the Facebook side. If you guys are on the YouTube side, I actually post them a little bit ahead of time, so if you guys just can't wait, they're already up there. And then also on the YouTube side, my husband Jordan and I have started doing Golden Girls reviews. So thank you guys for checking those out. I appreciate all of you, and I'm glad to do these reviews. I'm glad people will like them. So, for this episode, Distant Voices, this was kind of a fun episode, and it was kind of an interesting episode. So, Bashir, it starts out with Dr. Bashir, and he's turning 30, and he's just talking about how old it is. Now, as a kid, I remember watching this and think, you're already old, what are you talking about? Now that I'm already past 30 and into my 30s, like, I look at him and I'm like, fuck you. Like, you're so young, and you're still like, yeah, fuck you. But anyways, it's kind of interesting. And he just kind of talks about the future, and then, Quark introduces him to an alien who's trying to get some sort of gel. And when Bashir says no, this alien, it's illegal. It's like it's against the Federation legal code. And the alien tries to break into the medical center and steal it. And when Bashir goes up to him, he like shocks him. He does like some sort of brain thing, and it knocks him out. And so for the most of this episode, there's not a lot to this episode, to be honest. But for the rest of the episode, we see Dr. Bashir, and he's on Deep Space Nine, but it's like broken down. There's something not right about it. And then throughout the course of this adventure, it turns out that he's actually in a coma, and like his brain is the station, and it's broken. And all of the characters like Dax and Odo and O'Brien and Kira and Quark and everybody play different personality traits. And he has to use them collectively to basically fix everything. And in the meantime, he's continuously aging throughout this episode, which is kind of interesting because at one point he says that he's like 30 years older. So he's roughly like 55, 60 years old at that point. And to look at him right there, to look at him now, which he's still acting. He does some interesting stuff. He was recently in Game of Thrones, and then I've never watched Gotham, but he plays Ra's al Ghul in Gotham. So to look at him in like those shows, and then to look at him now, I was like, God, you guys missed the mark on what he was going to look like in his 60s. So, but I mean, let's be honest, they never really do a very good job of predicting what people look like in old makeup. But to be honest, though, he does look pretty good, especially when he gets to where he can't even move. Like, the makeup's better than, say, like, what Admiral Bones looked like in the very first episode of Next Generation. So that was kind of cool. And then, so by the time we get to the end, Garrick plays one of his personality traits, and he's just having a difficult problem. And then, of course, like, it is Star Trek, so by the end of the episode, he fixes everything. He fixes the station, which is the metaphor for his brain, fixes that, and then he wakes up out of the coma. And the alien, of course, was caught right after he attacked Bashir by Odo. So overall, I thought it was a good episode. It was really interesting to kind of watch all of the different characters do stuff. When he first got to so I have no memory of this episode. I didn't know what was going on. When Bashir first gets there and the station's broken and Odo's scared, I actually thought it was going to be something totally different. I thought it was going to be like, what is that giant monster in the shadows? Like, is it going to be Odo? What is it? So that kind of caught me off guard. But overall, I thought it was a good episode. It had great acting, great directing, great lighting. The lighting was fantastic. So it was a good episode. So for those who have seen this one, what did you think about Bashir's makeup? If you guys watch Game of Thrones or if you watch Gotham, and he's done some other stuff, what did you think about him there and compared to what he looks like old in this episode? Which, by the way, supposedly the actor that plays Dr. Bashir is the nephew of Malcolm McDowell, the guy that played like Soren in Generations and like all sorts of other movies. So some people have said when he's really old, like that's actually kind of who they based his makeup off of. I couldn't see it, but what did you guys think? So go ahead, let me know what you guys think about in the episode. Thank you guys for all the subscriptions and the comments and the friend requests. You guys are all great. I will see you guys next time for the Return to the Mirror Universe Through the Looking Glass.